Hello, welcome to Math 96. For those of you who are new to the class, here is an introduction video. If you're making up work, please listen through the entire video as well. So there's some must-haves that I need to go over regarding Math 96 class. We need to make sure that everyone has the white note-taking guide. It's available at the attendance window at Tuckwitz High School, and the green Math 96 textbook that's available by appointment from the library, or you can access it online, and I will show you how to do that. So I'm going to start with information for Chapter 2 notes and homework. So if you're new to class, this is where you need to start it. And if you're making up work, I still need you to start at Chapter 2. And then I will show you at the end how you need to make up Chapter 1. But I would like new students and students who are getting caught up to make sure that they start at Chapter 2, because we're approaching a test for Chapter 2, and that will give you the best chance at having a very good test coming up, and should be next week. Okay, so how to access the videos to take notes for Chapter 2. I'll talk about that. Where to find the homework assignments in the videos. And I'll also talk about how to upload images of completed work for grading, and how to upload that into the digital workbook. All right, so I have the next image here for you. So this white guided practice notebook is pivotal for this class. You're going to be listening to videos and taking all your notes in this guided practice notebook. Everything's organized for you. You can pick it up at attendance between 7 a.m. and 3:20 Monday through Friday. The green book textbook, you need to make an appointment with the library in order to pick up this green textbook. You have to call 765-6300, and we use the green textbook for the homework. Let me show you how to access the green textbook online if you don't want to pick it up at the library. So if you're on a district Chromebook, there's this folder up here that's called HUSD bookmarks. So if you're not logged on to the district Chromebook with your district email address, you won't see this. All right, now just in case that's not preloaded, you can also access it in the three dots under bookmarks, HUSD bookmarks. I'm going to use this one over here because it's a little neater. So you click on the little folder and go all the way down to the end for textbooks 9 through 12. If you click on that, these are all the textbooks for the high school students. You would go to high school math, and you would choose Math 96. And if you choose to do the bottom one, it will download the entire green textbook. I prefer the top one because it's separated by chapter. So here's Chapter 2. And then again, you can choose to download it, but I would just pull down the sidebar, and then you can just kind of scroll through Chapter 2 by each page and print what you need, or just look at it. Most of our homework is done on paper, so you would just have to look at it. Page number is up in the top left. So here's section 2.1 homework or exercise set. So I've assigned homework out of this area already. Okay. Okay. So this is an image of Google Classroom starting at week 7. That was the beginning of triad number 2. So students began Chapter 2 in triad number 2. So within each week, the lecture recordings for each section will say section and recording, and sometimes it takes more than one day to get through it. So for section 2.1, we actually took 3 days. And then anything with recording here, I'm just discussing the homework from the week since we were switching over to graphing. If you move on to week 8 in Google Classroom, then you can see how we moved on to section 2.2, day 1 and day 2. And that's where you find the recordings, how to take notes for this classroom, and how to find the homework. So both the notes and the homework are in this section, recordings. So if you're making up or are brand new to my class, please start here. Whoops, sorry about that. Please start here. Week 7, section 2.1, recording day 1. And then progress through, do all of 2.1, then switch to 2.2. And then as you can see here, the next week, week 9, we went to section 2.3, for a couple of days, 2.5, which we did for 3 days. And we went to week 10, recording for 2.6, extra help with 2.6, a recording on the notes for chapter 2, and the homework for chapter 2. So now I'm going to show you what's inside one of those. But first, that's not the only thing that's in Google Classroom. So for instance, in week 8, we had this Otis assessment, and this is Otis, how to log in and take the assessment. So those are recordings that students need to listen to in order to know how to take an Otis assessment in the class. Also in week number 7, this was the test paper that students needed for the Chapter 1 test. And then often, this month we're putting up, sorry about that, college kickoff. So this is a college video, and I do my senior announcement. So when we see announcements and flyers, there we go. And that's things specific to seniors that I'm trying to make sure they remember. So there's plenty of other stuff that's on Google Classroom besides just the notes and homework that's important for students. Okay. So once you open up an assignment, there'll be a video there, and every single video starts with an agenda. So here you can see back on September 30th that they were doing section 2.1, day 2. And so then it tells them what page on the note-taking guide to go to. That's in your white note-taking guide. And then also every agenda will list the homework. And 99% of the homework comes out of the green textbook. And the page number and the problems will be listed. Then also it's important if students for you to listen to the whole agenda because there's specific directions here. There's information about how to use the pre-printed graph paper that's in the back of the white note-taking guide on page 142 for the homework that was assigned. So please listen all the way through, and then you'll sit there and listen, and we'll do notes together and do the math problem examples. Sometimes, in this instance, that 1%, when the 99% of the homework comes out of the green textbook, but on this date, the homework was just the 3 graphs below. And so students, in this case, I need you to just do those 3 problems. And that hardly ever happens, but sometimes the problems in the textbook are just not appropriate for what we need to do in our classroom. So you would have had to graph these 2 graphs by a table of values and one with X and Y intercepts. Okay. So this is an image of the white note-taking guide for where to start in 2.1. This is for page 14 and 15. It's at the bottom of each page. What you need to know for your white note-taking guide is the section number is printed in the top left of your white note-taking guide, so you can match that up to the recordings that are on Google Classroom. And then specifically because we were graphing, I included an extra page, and it says right here, and I go over that during the video, that these extra graph grids on page 14 were to be used with section 2.1 lesson. So example 1, when we graphed example 1, we put it over on this grid. For example 2, when we graphed example 2, we put it over on this grid. And if you listen through the recording, then all of that is explained during each recording. And then also included in the recordings are information about where to find that extra graph paper. So these pages that are in the back of the white note-taking guide were to be used for homework or during classwork when we needed it. And so it goes from page 141 to I think about 170. So there's plenty of extra graph paper in the back of your white note-taking guide when we need it. And I do mention that during the recording. Sometimes you have to listen through to the recording, and you have to read the questions that are posed in Google Classroom. I did pose a question to make sure that you crossed out pages 20 and 21 in the notebook because we skipped those 2 pages. So make sure you listen to every recording and every announcement that's on Google Classroom. Okay, so from week 7 until week 10, students have been working in Triad 2 in their digital workbook number 2. This is for all the work for chapter 2. So this is the work that all the students have accomplished and needs to be done for the chapter 2. The very first set of assignments, number 1 through 9, these are all homework assignments. And then number 10 through 22 are all the note pages from the white note-taking guide. And we're not quite done yet because we still have worksheets to do. So we'll still be adding to the digital workbook number 2. So students have these slides available to them in their own personal digital workbook. I'm going to show you first in Google Classroom. There is an assignment that says Triad number 2 digital workbook. Please go in and click on the Google slide. Please open the assignment only once. Don't make a copy, just open it up. The digital workbook will automatically be saved to your Google Drive. When you do upload any image, you must include yourself in the image for homework and notes, and I will demonstrate that to you in just a minute. And then please do not turn in the digital workbook on Google Classroom. This is a slide folder that will stay open for all of Triad 2. I just go in and access the work, and I look at what you've done, and I grade it from there. So you please don't turn it in as an assignment in Google Classroom. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you how to how to upload work into your digital work. Okay. Okay. So this is the digital workbook. When you open it up, this is what you will see. Let me just go ahead and that's shrunk as much as I can make it. So this is the table of contents that I just showed you. There's 2 of them, one for all the homework and then one with the notes pages. And we're still adding to that. So how this works is you're going to go ahead and do the assignments. And if you just slide down on the side, this is where you're going to insert your name. So you're just going to type your name there. Let me just get rid of this for a minute. Okay. And then as you slide down, you'll see all of these slides. And what you're going to do is insert an image of your work. And then I go in and look at the image and grade your work. Okay, because I'm not collecting any papers right now during distance learning, right? So if you needed to show me the work for assignment number 1, then you go down to the slide that says assignment number 1, and it tells you what it is. It's 3 graphs from 2.1 recording. If you needed to show me the image for assignment number 2 that's out of the textbook, page 101, and it keeps going on, right? So let's just pretend we're going to do this one, and I'll show you how to insert an image. So you want to go up and hit Insert, Image, Camera. So one more time, go up to Insert, Image, Camera. And then once the camera comes up, you just want to hold up your work and then make sure you're in the image as well. Give me a good smile because it's about one of the few times I get to see you. Take a picture. There we go. And then you hit Insert. And then I've asked students if you could please kind of make that a little bit bigger for me. And then you can kind of offset it, right? So you can make it a little bit bigger. I'm not the best at this. There we go. If you could just make it a little bit bigger for me so that I can actually see your work, it makes it easier for me to grade. So then I just go down and I'm looking at your work and I'm grading it. Okay? So you do need to, the rule is you do need to include yourself in the images, whether the image is your notes or your homework. And that was Insert, Image, Camera. And then that's all you have to do. Then you just close it out. Just, close your tab. And every time you need to access it, you can just go to your Google Classroom and you just click on Triad number 2 digital workbook and you just click on it and it'll take you over to yours. Okay? All right. Back to oops. Okay. I'll make sure I didn't miss anything. Yep. Okay, so we did the digital workbook. So for making up chapter 1 notes and homework back from Triad number 1. So just like the recordings for chapter 2, just like the recordings for chapter 2 notes and homework, all the recordings for chapter 1 are on Google Classroom. And the recordings for chapter 1 are found in week number 1 through week number 6 in Google Classroom. And the notes and homework images for chapter 1 must be uploaded to a different digital workbook. It's digital workbook number 1. And then this is an image of all the work that we did in Triad number 1 for chapter 1. And this will appear inside this digital workbook for Triad number 1. So when you open that assignment up, you will see all of these there for you to reference. Okay, well, I hope this helps. Please email me, and with any question that you might have, welcome to class. And email me and I will answer you back as quickly as I can. Have a great day.